What it do? Welcome to HoodSoul Wisdom. First and foremost, I appreciate you tapping in. I hope this episode finds you in the very best of every single aspect possible, including but not limited to mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. Those are and forever will be my highest hopes and prayers for you and yours. I'm your host, Ruby. Glad you came through to Align and Thrive. This episode is brought to you by Forever Wise Coaching. Align and thrive with your health and wellness in mind. And Forever Wise Apparel, conscious wear with the essence of a G. Episode 15. Who do you believe in? Or should I say it in my Pac voice? Who do you believe in? I'm not talking about religion, and I ain't even talking about spirituality. I'm talking about you. What version or vision of yourself do you believe in? And this is deep as fuck. This right here determines whether you get what you want in life or not. So this episode right here, it's a motherfucking treasure. This episode right here is a motherfucking game changer. Believe me. For real though. This episode goes back to a comment someone made on a previous post of mine regarding our outer appearance and how we feel inside. So shout out to that kid from the hub city. You did that. You sparked up this episode. Muchas gracias. I'm going to delve into self-concept. And self-concept is the way we view ourselves, what we ultimately believe about ourselves. And again, this is huge. I'm going to go ahead and give an example about myself. A couple of months back, I wrote a letter to someone. And during that letter, as I was writing that letter, and yes, I still write letters, I came into a realization. And this all goes back to our number one relationship, which is our relationship with ourselves. So with this person, the person I wrote the letter to, I've always been very comfortable sharing my deepest vulnerabilities because I've never received judgment. Everything has always been received with open arms, so to speak. So I was telling this person about all these beliefs I held about myself. A belief is something you basically hold to be true and have faith in. Like when you believe in someone or in something. Basically, you're just stating you have faith, right? So within this letter, I was telling this person how I believed myself to be ugly, how I believed myself to be unworthy, and all types of shit in between that I'm not even gonna put out there. When you believe yourself to be something, then that's how you feel. Because yeah, I felt ugly. I felt unworthy. And if we go back to previous episodes, as I've mentioned, feelings fuel what and how you create. And you only begin to feel after you think something. So thinking something to be true means you believe it. And when you believe in something, it means you have faith in it and you feel strongly about it. So I hope you're following with that, because I've mentioned how all creation begins with thought and your feelings fuel it, and your strong belief in something or your faith in something materializes it. That's how basically miracles are made, right? You have faith in something and you believe so strongly in it, and then bam, it happens. It's like, oh shit, a miracle. Well, it's actually that you really believed in it and you focused on knowing that to be true and you materialized it. So let's go back to that. I believed about myself all type of horrible things that I picked up along the way. I think that's how we basically form this self-concept. You know, it's the things that you believe about yourself or how you view yourself. And most of the time, they don't necessarily come from you. They come from outside sources. And you just internalize them and you just start going with it. So this goes back to that person who commented, who said that our outer appearance reflects how we feel inside. And I agreed with him, but to a certain extent, because as I mentioned in last week's episode, you know, sometimes you have people who are fucking dressed on point and look good, but that's the only thing they have to show. Nothing else in their life reflects that besides their outfit. And I think I fit that at some point because again, like I'm very high energy and I'm always pumping everybody up, everybody around me. I'm always choosing to see the beauty in them. I'm always choosing to see the potential in them. But when someone would recognize that in me, I'll entertain it for a little bit. Like, damn, you're beautiful. Or damn, you're so fucking confident. It's like, okay, yeah, I'll go along with what you're saying. But in reality, I didn't feel that way. I didn't see that. And I felt like that was reflected in my environment. But I hadn't made that connection. So for a long time, I've been working on certain things, on certain projects. And when I wrote to this person, I was telling this person, if I didn't believe in myself and if I felt unworthy, then how the fuck would I ever believe in anything else that I was trying to accomplish? Does that make sense? I hope it does. Because if you doubt yourself and you don't believe you're worthy of attaining your goals, your dreams, your aspirations, then you're creating from that standpoint. And without faith, without belief, then there's no creation. It will not come into fruition. And it's a trip how things work, because a couple of weeks ago, I was in the shower and I'm over here giving thanks. Just giving thanks for the hot water that I have, giving thanks for the relaxing time that I'm getting in there. And something clicked within me. I had been going through some mental frustrations, I'll call. And within that time frame, something clicked. And I started laughing. I was like, man, I must have forgotten who the fuck I was. I'm dope as fuck. I'm fucking solid. And I started pumping myself up, like to the fucking fullest extent. I got out the shower laughing and just pumped up. And I'm talking about like pumped up, squared up. Like I'm squaring up on myself in the mirror. Like, damn. Admiring myself, and not to be cocky, because it has nothing to do with being cocky. It had more to do with me believing in myself. So I'm admiring myself in the mirror, and my son is just baffled, like, what the fuck? He's like, what's going on? I'm like, man, I must have forgotten who the fuck I was. So within these 10 minutes of me pumping myself up and being in this bomb-ass energy, trip out. This is me believing in myself. This is me looking at myself differently. Within doing that for like 10 minutes, I had 2 separate people hit me up on Instagram with 2 separate project ideas that I'm going to be working on, or I'm already working on one, the other's still pending. But that was within 10 minutes. Both of these people that hit me up, they have a good community within their channels. And man, I felt fucking blessed. I felt fucking grateful. I was just like, what the fuck? And these people hit me up within minutes of each other. And the reason I'm sharing this is because that was just within 10 minutes of me believing in myself, of me being in this fucking energy, of me seeing myself in a higher light, of me seeing myself the way most people look at me. Because I always get that, like, man, you're so fucking confident and you're so fucking outgoing. And I don't see that in myself. Or, excuse me, I didn't see that in myself. So that happened. And then, days went by. I did start working on one of these projects, as I mentioned. And then, sometimes shit happens and your mind derails. But last week, I took my son out to eat and we went to Shakey's. And if you know me personally, you know that pizza is my love language. But we went to Shakey's during the middle of the week. And he has his own money. He wants to go play games. So I'm like, all right, go for it. So we play games and he comes up on tickets and you get to switch the tickets for a prize. So there we are at the prize counter, and lo and behold, I end up with a ruby. He gifted me a ruby, a gem. And I looked at that gem and it sparked that shit up within me all over again. I'm like, man, I'm Ruby. I'm dope as fuck. And I start just going off. I start going off in a rant within my mind. But as I'm going on through this rant within my mind, I came back to that same realization. And as I'm working towards different goals and projects, even the creation of this podcast, I realized how fucking important it is to have a positive self-concept, because our self-concept is basically what we believe about ourselves, how we believe ourselves to be. If we don't believe highly of ourselves, then how could we believe highly of our goals? How could we believe highly of our aspirations? Not only that, but if we're in a negative state of self, then how could anything around us reflect positivity if we don't believe we're worthy of it? So this all goes back to creation, because like I've told you guys, we're all fucking creators. We're all here to create. We're all here to manifest. So how are you manifesting in your life? Are you manifesting from the best version of yourself, or from a weak ass version of yourself that you don't believe in? Because ultimately, the version of yourself that you believe in is a version of yourself that's going to have results. And the results around you, your reality, reflects how you feel inside. That's why last week's episode, I mentioned that. It's like, yeah, you could look fucking well put together and put up a fucking front. but your energy doesn't lie. And it's like if you have yourself well put together, but everything else around you ain't aligning, then you're not aligning within. And if you're not aligning within, then the results you get on the outside are going to look just as out of alignment, out of harmony. I wrote a letter not so long ago to another person. Like I said, I stay writing letters. I got family members who are busted. But this person, he was getting at me about certain inconveniences he was going through within himself. And I noticed in his letter how difficult he was being with himself. And I told him, or I wrote back to him, speak to yourself with compassion. Speak to yourself with love. Because think about it, if you wouldn't speak to your brother or to your friend like that, then why do you speak to yourself in that manner? Why are you so hard with yourself? So self-talk, be compassionate with yourself, be loving with yourself, and look at yourself in a different light. Look at yourself as the best version of yourself. And what you believe is what you think. And what you think is how you speak to yourself. So how do you treat yourself? How do you speak to yourself? Because the longest conversations you're going to have in life, you're going to have them with yourself. It's self-talk. It's what goes on within. Because ultimately, if you want to create from a good place, and yes, I talk about frequency and I talk about energy, but unless your self-concept is that of being worthy and that of being fucking amazing and deserving of everything that you fucking want, then it doesn't fucking matter if you tune in into the right frequency and if you're giving off the right energy for 10, 15 minutes a day, if at the end of the day you don't fucking believe in yourself. So it all starts within you. And shit, let me tell you, I'm over here on some shit like, I got this shit on loop. I got this shit on repeat mode in my mind. I'm not gonna say exactly everything I tell myself, but shit, I'm over here telling myself like, damn, you're a ruby. You're a motherfucking gem. You're a motherfucking jewel. You're a motherfucking treasure. You're dope as fuck. You're solid as fuck. Damn, that's just making me feel good right now. But imagine if you tell yourself that shit every fucking day instead of putting yourself down. How many more of your goals would you be able to accomplish? How much more fucking happy would you be in every fucking area of your life if you see yourself in that fucking manner of how good you are? Because for a long time, I was over here thinking, there was something wrong with me. I had somebody in the past repeat that shit to me daily. What's wrong with you? And for a cool while, I fucking thought something was wrong with me. But now, everything's fucking right with me. Every fucking thing is right with me. And everything is falling into place. Because that's how fucking dope I am. That's how fucking solid I am. I'm a motherfucking blessing to anybody who I cross paths with. And again, that's not me being cocky. That's me knowing who the fuck I am. Remembering who the fuck I am. Because I'm Ruby. But anyway, I have an action step for you this week. And I hope you guys are doing these. I don't even know who's doing this or not. I think I got to create something where y'all could tap in and let me know. But the action step I got for you this week is write at least 5 things you like about yourself. 5 things that make you unique. 5 things that make you fucking feel good about yourself. Write 5 things out and say, I am. Like I said, you guys will hear me or shit. You'll probably see me smiling within myself. And it's because I'm over here telling myself how fucking dope I am. I'm dope as fuck. So in that manner, I am, write 5 I am affirmations about yourself that make you fucking feel good and have these motherfuckers on repeat mode on your mind all fucking day. The moment something stupid crosses your mind, fuck it, interrupt it by reminding yourself who the fuck you are. Cause you're worthy as fuck. You're dope as fuck. And you deserve everything. I'm out.
Before I wrap it up, right? Make sure y'all tap in. Follow me on IG at HoodSoul Wisdom, at Forever Wise Coaching, and at Forever Wise Apparel for updates, giveaways, and merch drops. And if you haven't yet, do yourself a favor and click the link on the bio at HoodSoul Wisdom to download 8 affirmations to help you tap in and align with your essence. And subscribe to the email list so you're always up on game with what I got coming next. I appreciate you coming through, and as always, may the higher powers guide you, protect you, and fully equip you with a pure mind, good health, and a solid spirit. With much love, respect, and sincerity, I'm out.